Don't look away. Well, I'm not so certain that you guys won't necessarily look at me, but if you don't want to look away, don't look away. As long as you guys can at least hear me, that's good enough. But anyway, you'll want to hear how many pools of blood I give at the end of this one, so at least don't go away. So with that, let's get into this IMDb plot here to start. It doesn't move, it doesn't think, it just kills. Okay, so they can stop there and I'd be happy, but let's continue. For one young woman, a chance encounter with this supernatural entity proves devastating. Frankie learns that once you see the mannequin, there may be no end in sight except for your own. Alright, so yeah, that's some interesting good stuff there. I like the way they wrote that. So let's get it out of the way. I saw this one courtesy of the Popcorn Frights Film Festival, so thank you to them for allowing me to see this. This is also a newer film, so we'll try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. Probably shy away from what eventually happens, but I guess this is a lot of typical horror here, so it's not tremendous lot to spoil, except for I guess how they're going to survive at the end. So with that, let's see. I guess the one thing to say, off the top is this movie has some similarities to It Follows. So if you liked It Follows, you might like this. I'm not going to guarantee it. It Follows certainly had a following for itself. But there were some that actually didn't like it and questioned some things about it. I enjoyed It Follows, and I'll give you a hint off the top. I enjoyed this one. This is kind of my type of horror right here. So what we have here is, this mannequin, and it's a kind of creepy looking mannequin, has been unleashed and is there. And it is now following people. Kind of, it follows, or sort of. And follows, you really didn't see, what was following here. You at least have something more concrete, or more wooden, or whatever, plastic, whatever. To me, it looked wooden, but it could be plastic. I don't know, whatever. At least something there to actually see and definitely know that it's there. But you're not supposed to look away from it. So Frankie is the unfortunate one that I guess it kind of centers on, and it kind of takes the role of, okay, she has a group of friends, so I need her to kind of introduce me to her friends so that I have people to kill. So it's kind of that thing. So as it kind of haunts her and kind of maybe spooks of some people around her that might not be important, of course, eventually it's going to get to the more center of her group. And more of her friends think that they're also being haunted, or they see something that's following them before they actually end up dead. So obviously, the group of friends is struggling. They're like, is this really true? Some of them are like, this is BS. There's nothing really following us. Nothing really happening. You're just, just Frankie's a little bit out of it. And then whoever else kind of sees it or thinks that it's following, they're full of it and there's nothing really happening. Until we get to the point where most of them are in a center place, in together, and are like, oh crap, there is something really here, and they kind of figure that they really can't look away from it, or somebody needs to have their eyes on it at all times so they know where it is. And then it just becomes one of those things where if everybody's not looking away, it disappears and it's going to come back and take somebody. And then there's one person in real particular who really thinks it's a bunch of crap and really doesn't believe into it. And they get a really good death. And I'm going to say, they're one of those characters. They don't go maybe to the extreme of some other characters in other horror movies. But, sometimes there are those characters that you just can't wait till they die. They're going to die. You can't wait till they die. And you hope they have a really great death. There's going to be one of those characters here, too. They're going to meet their death. And the special effects in that particular scene, I maybe needed some tweaking, maybe wasn't as great, but I still credit them for doing it. I still liked the death, regardless. It might not have been done perfectly, but I still enjoyed it, and glad to see that person end their days right there. So that was fun. There's some other good deaths in this film. So when I start talking about death scenes and that kind of thing, I'm enjoying the film and so forth. So obviously that's one of the reasons why I like the film. The mannequin itself is kind of creepy. On the flip side of it, I'll take the other reverse, and for people who eventually see this, and if you come and tell me that, no, it kind of wore on me, it is one of those films also that almost kind of repeats itself. The whole trick with the mannequin appearing and then somebody dying, that might wear on some people. You might, be like, okay, I've kind of seen this already, and it's kind of happened. Okay, the mannequin is creepy and so forth, and then it might get away from you. So for those who say that, I can see that. I can agree with that. Maybe for some that aren't also as hung up on death scenes and whatever, like I am. You guys know I'm blood, guts, murder, all that kind of stuff. Those are things I like in horror movies. So you can see why I didn't look away. Besides for making sure there was no mannequin behind me. Hopefully, there's not one behind me now. But anyway, yeah, so you can kind of see why I liked the movie, why I enjoyed it. I thought it had some good suspense moments, some good tension there. Drawing in some of those deaths, and definitely some good death scenes. There's one really early on in the movie, like I said, the one person that dies that you want them to die, maybe not done the best way, but still was a fun death, and there's a couple of other ones in there. So if you're just kind of looking for that kind of horror, that I could see it kind of scaring some people, depending on the level of horror fan you are. It might haunt some people, scare some people. Kind of thinking about it follows, I guess the situation is kind of creepy. Definitely some good deaths in that movie. Who can forget the girl with the leg and the air on the beach? That was crazy and definitely a tone setter. So I think this movie kind of tries to do the same early on and give you a good death scene to start. Am I going to say it's better than It Follows? Probably. I don't know. I would have to revisit that, but I'm going to say probably not. But if you liked It Follows and that kind of theme or that kind of horror movie, you probably like this one too. Again, if you like death scenes and stuff like that, like I do, you probably like this one as well. Obviously, the group here has to figure out a way to stop this thing from following it, from seeing it. And I'm not going to get into that. I'll let you guys watch and see if there are any survivors, if they get away, if whatever happens to this mannequin and so forth. I'll let you guys watch that for yourself. So I'm going to give this one 3.5 pools of blood. I think I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my kind of horror. I liked it. Maybe again a little repetitive in what is going on here. But I'm not going to complain too much about that. I can see others doing that. I'm not going to complain. I enjoyed it for what they did here. And, 3.5 pools of blood out of 5. Again, this one I'll keep an eye out for. And if I find out any news of it coming to you guys available to see, I will definitely share that either here, and I'll share the review more once that happens, and hopefully have some news and share it along the way at Promote Horror. So with that, horror_reviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. Lots of video reviews now lately, so subscribe, like to the channel. If you can't, head over to the blog, and if not, no worries, no problem. But if you do, Please also check out the shorts, trying to keep you guys entertained there as well. Entertained and informed as well. So Twitter, Facebook, information down below. Reach out to me there as well to talk horror, talk about this movie, other movies, something you want me to review. If you're looking for a review of something that maybe I reviewed or my opinion on something, feel free to hit me up there as well. And the comment section, if you do eventually see this movie, what did you like better? This one, It Follows. Do you like this theme, kind of theme movie or not? Throw that in there. Let me know, and maybe we can have a talk about it. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.